You know, every great story you've ever loved, whether it's an ancient myth or the latest superhero blockbuster, has a secret blueprint. Today, we're going to tear apart a short script called Clash of Legends and see exactly how it's built. We're going to find out what makes a story like this feel so legendary. Let's dive in.
So the whole thing kicks off with this absolutely chilling line from some cosmic being called the Arbiter. Only one universe will survive. I mean, wow. Right off the bat, the stakes couldn't possibly be higher. We're not talking about saving the city, we're talking about saving everything.
And that's really the big question, isn't it? A conflict that could shatter the entire multiverse, but told in just 8 scenes? How do you even pull that off? Well, it turns out the secret is a classic, super powerful storytelling structure.
And that secret weapon is the 3-act structure. Seriously, think of it as the invisible skeleton holding up pretty much every story you've ever enjoyed. It's the blueprint.
When you boil it all down, it's actually pretty simple. You've got Act 1, the setup, then Act 2, the confrontation, and finally Act 3, the resolution. This simple framework is what gives a story its rhythm, its tension, and that awesome, satisfying payoff at the end. Let's see how our script puts it to work.
So first up is Act 1. Let's call it the spark.
The whole job of Act 1 is just to set the stage. It has to answer 3 basic questions. Who are we dealing with here? Where in the world are we? And what's the big problem they're facing? In our script, this all gets done super efficiently in just the first 2 scenes.
Okay, so scene 1 just drops us right in. We're in some abandoned city and bam, our 4 heroes show up from different universes. You've got the mighty Thunderlord, the tactical Star Soldier, the powerhouse Solar Man, and the super agile Night Phantom. No messing around, we meet the whole crew immediately.
Now, every story needs that one moment that really gets things going, right? In writing, we call that the inciting incident. It's the event that lights the fuse and pushes our heroes past the point of no return.
And boom, here it is, Scene 2. The Arbiter shows up with that terrifying ultimatum we heard earlier. In a single moment, these 4 heroes go from being total strangers to being enemies in a fight for their very existence. The plot has officially been launched.
All right, let's move on to Act 2. This is where that little spark we just lit explodes into a full-on fire. Act 2 is all about escalation. It's where the real confrontation happens. The challenges get way harder, the stakes get higher and higher, and usually there's a point where everything just seems to go completely wrong. For our script, this is scenes 3, 4, and 5. Now this is really cool. Check out how the script handles these first fights. Scenes 3 and 4 give us 2 totally different kinds of battles. On one hand, you have the raw, brute force of Thunderlord versus Solar Man just tearing the city apart. And on the other, you have this tactical, almost chess-like match between Star Soldier and Night Phantom.
And trust me, these matchups are not random. They're specifically designed to show off what each character can do and to push them to their absolute limits from the get-go. And all that destruction they're causing, that's showing us just how high the physical stakes really are.
And right when you think things are bad enough, we hit the story's midpoint in Scene 5. The Arbiter steps in, hits the heroes with this corrupting red energy, and basically turns their own power against them. This is that classic all is lost moment. The heroes are out of control, the world is literally crumbling around them, and you're left wondering, how are they ever going to get out of this?
But you know, out of those ashes of Act 2, we get Act 3, the explosion. This is where it all comes to a head.
So the job of Act 3 is to wrap everything up. You get the big, dramatic climax where the main problem is solved, and then you get to see what happens after all the dust settles. For us, that's Scenes 6, 7, and 8.
The whole climax kicks off with this huge turning point in Scene 6. Star Soldier, always the thinker, manages to break the Arbiter's mind control. And suddenly, for the first time, all 4 heroes have this light bulb moment. They realize they've been fighting the wrong enemy all along.
And that realization leads directly to the ultimate payoff in Scene 7. I mean, look how simple and powerful this is. First, they uncover the truth. Second, they unite their powers. And third, they take down the real enemy. It's just a classic, incredibly satisfying superhero team-up moment.
So after that huge climax, we get the resolution in Scene 8. The big bad is gone, the portals back to their own universes open up, and the heroes head home. We get a return to some kind of normal, and it gives everyone, including us, a chance to just breathe.
Okay, so let's pull back and look at the whole picture. What is it about this structure that makes a really short story feel so big and complete?
Well, when you actually map it out like this, you can see how clean and logical the flow is. You've got 2 scenes for the setup, 3 for the escalating fight, and 3 for the final showdown and wrap-up. It's just a perfectly balanced and really powerful storytelling engine.
At the end of the day, this 3-act structure isn't just some boring formula. It's a tool for creating an emotional journey. It sets up clear stakes, it builds tension in a way that feels natural, and it delivers a conclusion that feels totally earned. That's the real secret to why this little 8-scene script feels so epic.
And of course, the script has to leave us with one last little tease, right? The very last line, "A new shadow is watching," hinting that another war is coming. So it perfectly wraps up this story, but it opens the door for so much more. It leaves us asking the most exciting question any story can. What happens next?